number, please. Please hold.
He's not in his office. I'll call back later. Meanwhile, let's go see Janos at the Castle of Twilight. That will give me something else to think about.
A lovely girl. But she's got a way about her, if you see what I mean. You can tell right off she's not from around here. Always hanging around outside. That ain't a shame. Of course, he's got no more parents. Lives with his uncle. Barely takes care of him. Sure you can. I don't know where it comes from. Some vagabond brought it to me. I gave him a meal in exchange for it. My way of being charitable, I guess. Yeah, they're beautiful, that's for sure. But my late husband said they were just copies, not very valuable. What I think, she killed herself at work. And anyway, she never ate anything. I always knew her thin as a rail even before the war. When you work a lot without eating, then obviously you're gonna... Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Oh, Father, please don't say that. People might think us folks in Vladivista ain't very proper.
I'm just gonna re-get this stuff. Thank you. Remember now, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the upright destroyed? Okay, I was confused. For they poured out the blood of saints and prophets, and you have given them blood to drink. They deserve it. AKA vampires, apparently. Yeah. I was talking to people too. Okay, yeah. Here in November 1916, the 14th, 4th, and 5th Infantry Divisions, the 3rd Mountain Brigade, and a detachment of the Legion of Transylvania Volunteers heroically fought against the troops of the Austro-German coalition. May the blue, yellow, and red, the 3 colors of the Romanian nation, forever fly over this blessed land. It looks like that flag needs to be replaced.
According to what Janos told me, the crossroads of the Broken Oak ought to be here. I have to keep going straight to get up to the castle.
What?
Cartridges from a revolver. Hello, Janos.
Welcome to the Castle of Twilight. These ruins are impressive, aren't they? Imagine this edifice before the war, when the erect ramparts had been standing for centuries. The Dragoman family, which reigned over Transylvania in the heroic age, lived here. Its most famous member was Vlad Tepes, hero of the war against the Turks. A magnificent sovereign, and a passionate subject to study. I think he's the greatest prince Transylvania ever had. No, the building is much older, but Vlad Tepes enlarged it by adding the outer walls.
History lesson!
It was lived in until 1900, when the last owner died without any heirs.
This tree is a Sorbus acuparia, commonly known as the mountain ash or the rowan tree. Skeletons, exposed during the destruction of the ramparts.
They were convicts who died of exhaustion while digging the foundation of the castle. They were buried where they fell, probably so their ghosts would guard the place. This sundial adorned the entrance to the castle. A bullet shattered it, and a piece is still missing. I searched the whole area without finding it. That's especially annoying.
Vulnerant omnes, ultima necat. All injure. The last one kills.
That refers to ours, doesn't it?
Yes, which gives us a rather gloomy picture of man's fate.
Huh, that's fun.
Gold with the sable wolf, the personal coat of arms of Lad Tepesh. Dragon. It's the dynastic emblem of Vlad's family. Where did you find it?
A vagabond gave it to Ozana. Perhaps I should return it to her.
No, but its place is here. The person who took it had no right to pillage these ruins.
I must admit, you're right.
Can you hear? The wolves multiplied during the war. Now that peace has returned, they're hungry.
If any of y'all have ever read Dracula, you get about the wolves. Took me a while to figure that out. Because you always hear wolves in this area. Let's try calling.
Number, please.
This is Cardinal Felicio Briganti.
This is Father Arno Moriani,
How is your investigation going?
a journalist friend of Martha Kelugaro, has a strange story to tell. He maintains she was assassinated by a dark power.
What? And what do the police think?
According to them, the reporter is a pathological liar, and Martha wasn't right in the head. As for me, I'm coming to more or less the same conclusions. I have proof that Martha believed in vampires and kept them away with the sacred host.
How could that be? The file seems so serious. What a disappointment. As for those vampire stories, tell me, was the parish priest aware of this?
Yes.
And he did nothing? Said nothing?
Well, that is,
Don't tell me he took part in these magical rites.
in fact, yes.
Good heavens. And was he paid for that?
I have no reason to think so. He seemed entirely disinterested and sincere to me. And he's very sick.
Well, rest assured that I don't want to incriminate him personally, but we have to react at once, or people will say the Catholic Church encourages superstition. Stay near your phone, please, Arno. I'll make 2 calls and get right back to you.
Wonderful.
This is Father Arno Moriani.
Arno, I've informed the Diocese of Albayula. They're stunned and say it's a setup. Are you sure about what you're putting forth?
The testimony of Father Gregorius seems conclusive to me.
How can a priest encourage practices of the sort? That's the crux of the matter. I spoke about it upstairs and learned to my consternation that we're not dealing with an isolated instance here. Believe it or not, this is the 20th century and there's a fresh outbreak of belief in vampires. It's probably connected to the success of certain novels that have troubled impressionable minds. And so, I have new instructions for you.
I suppose that I close the Caligaro file then?
Certainly. And you open another one on vampires.
Excuse me?
You heard me right. Study the legend. Demolish it. Prove that it is not based on reality. We'll give your report widespread distribution.
Yes, but hasn't the church already taken a position on the question?
To be sure. Benedict XIV formally condemned belief in vampires. But that was 2 centuries ago. It's time to bring his message up to date.
What exactly am I to do?
Seek the origins of the myth, but also pay attention to its literary aspects, its recent manifestations. Show that those phenomena that terrorize the naive are either pure fabrication or have explanations that aren't supernatural. Let me insist on one point, Arno. For your research, it's important that you consult the best scientific experts. We need the authority of a doctor and a historian to support your conclusions.
Do you think that a rational discourse can vanquish superstition?
I know the battle is never definitively won, but it must be fought. I hope the task doesn't seem too daunting for you.
Not at all. You're entrusting me with an unexpected job, but a very interesting one. I'll get at it without delay.
I'm counting on you.
Goodbye, Your Eminence.
Be well, Arno.
Now the historian.
Dr. Florescu came by. She asked for you to go to the dispensary because she needs blood donors, if you're so inclined.
Fine, I'll go there.
Did you like that? Me, I never go up there. Anyway, with my legs, it ain't possible anymore. Those ain't legends, Father. Begging your pardon, but you shouldn't talk about those things. It brings bad luck. Tell me, Father, do you think Martha will be sanctified?
Do you mean canonized?
Yeah, that's it. I hope she'll be canonized. A saint and a pilgrimage. That's what Vladivista is missing. That'd sure make people come, you know.
I haven't the heart to tell him the truth.
Let's go talk to the story. Talk to my phone or what? Oh no, there we go.
These ruins are impressive, aren't they? Imagine this edifice before the war, when the erect ramparts had been standing for centuries. These ruins are impressive, aren't they?
Oh, I had a good give blood. Dang it. Yeah, I get it. He's watching me. Makes it hard, dude.
Come in! It's open!
Thank you for stopping by. I noticed that my blood stocks were really insufficient. Would you let me take a sample of yours?
Certainly. I was a priest medic during the war. I saw many lives saved thanks to transfusions.
Oh, so you're a nurse as well. Then you'll be able to do it yourself. Great. I have to rush off to see a patient on the other side of the village.
Oh, what exactly do I have to do?
Draw your blood and place the bottle in the refrigerated chest. The combination is easy to remember. The date the dispensary was built. They're coming to get me. I have to go. Could you mark your blood type in the analysis reports? And also determine the types of the last 3 donors? I didn't have time to run the tests. Oh yes, and if the phone rings, please answer. See you later.
All right, down to work. I hope I haven't lost the touch. I have to sterilize this equipment before I use it. It's not hot enough to boil the...
I'm working on it. Are you kidding me?
This is Professor Heinrich von Kruger.
This is Father Arno Moriani. Dr. Florescu has gone out. May I take a message?
Please ask him to call me back as soon as possible at Munich 321941.
I'll be sure to do that. Goodbye, Professor.
Goodbye, Father.
I could have sworn he said he instead of she.
First, I have to wash my hands with soap. Never handle medical equipment with dirty hands. During the war, I saw far too many comrades die from infected wounds. I've done this hundreds of times to other people, but giving yourself a shot is not the same thing.
Oh, dang, no.
Be brave. It has to be done.
I did it wrong. No, stop. There you go. Is that right?
That's the right place. All that's left to do is press the needle deep into the vein.
Usually they keep that on. This one, they can't do that.
The ampoule is full. Perfect. Now I have to store the bottle of blood in the refrigerated cabinet.
Okay. It was open in 1905, so right there. So we know the password is.
The door of the refrigerated cabinet mustn't stay open too long. Now I have to figure out my blood type, as well as that of the 3 last donors, and update the analysis reports.
Okay, let's see what the numbers of the last 3 are. 'Cause I don't remember. So we got 814. So we got 811. Ah! 812. 814. Okay. So now we just figure out blood type. Maria is 0. Gregorius is A. Okay, let's just do something as I So let's get 809 as a test. You know he has A. Pretty sure there was a book on it somewhere. Alright. Patients with history. That's
Surgery during the Great War, with an appendix on the Albert Houston method and Dr. Jean Brau's research.
I'm looking for the book. It's in there somewhere.
Statistical demonstration on the utility of asepsis in the operating room.
It's not cool.
Exercitatio anatomica de mortu cordis et sanguinis in animalibus. A reprint of the famous book by William Harvey, who discovered in 1629 the circulation of blood. Excerpt from the medical chronicles of the Bucharest Royal Academy. The Descent of Man by Charles. Spontaneous generation, the end of a myth. That's a look back at Pasteur's revolution.
I really miss it.
A volume in German concerns the discovery of blood types by Karl Landsteiner.
Oh, that's not helpful. You don't tell me how to figure out the blood type.
First, I have to wash my hands.
You're going back down, so I can look my hands. I guess that's So,